In Washington County offers people struggling with addiction a different path through the court system. Today, the Compass Drug Court had its 52nd graduate in the program. Take a listen.
Started on drugs pretty young, went through juvenile center, multiple rehabs, pretty much done everything. Come into the drug court program, changed my life.
This man, Trey Rice, entered the drug court program in April 2023. The program offers offenders who struggle with addiction the treatment they need to achieve a sober, law-abiding, healthy lifestyle. The program is a minimum of 14 months and requires participants to complete 5 phases, along with other programs and meetings based on their needs and goals. This afternoon, Rice was able to graduate, making him the 52nd person to graduate from Compass Drug Court. He says after nearly 21 months in the program, it has reshaped him into a responsible citizen and rebuilt his life.
Feels great just knowing that I've come so far. A few years ago, I could never imagine my life where it's at. And, I'm more than grateful for the program. The women that helped me through it, the judge. If it wasn't for this program, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at.
He says he would recommend the program to anyone who needs it because it has changed his life and helped shape him into the person he is today. He has also volunteered to come back and help with the alumni group. Congratulations to him.